Hi everyone, welcome back to Raw FPL. So the international break is coming to an end, and yeah, to be fair, game week 7 it was not the best game week for me. Pretty much everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So yeah, I'm going to quickly go over how I did. Although I think the less time speaking about that is probably the better. But yeah, go on how I did in game week 7, and then we'll look to game week 8. And there's a few transfers I've got in mind, a few differentials as well, which I'm definitely contemplating. I've got 2 free transfers. And yeah, I think I'm in a strong position going forward. But yeah, let's quickly take a look at game week 7 and then we'll jump into game week 8. So if you do like this one, please do drop a like and please hit subscribe if you're new, and let's jump into it. So here we are then, game week 7, an absolute disaster. There's no other way of putting it really. 31 points. I think it went down from about 2 million to 3.4 million. So really not good. Everything that could have gone wrong pretty much went wrong. Obviously, when you've got a Salah Haaland draft and they both blank, and then you've got players like Saka absolutely smashing it, then the rank is definitely going to be hindered. So yeah, I think I had 2 players in the whole team who returned, Havertz and Solanke, and Solanke's he got the 5 points with the assist. So yeah, not gone well at all. Henderson returned with 3 points, Guardiola 1 point again. I think I probably would look to get Lewis if I had the choice now, because he's so much cheaper, and obviously the fixtures coming up they're pretty good. And then I'm gonna probably look to wildcard in 12 anyway. Mazraoui, I didn't see the game, but I came out and I saw that it was 0-0, so assumed I had a clean sheet, and then looked, and of course Mazraoui went off at half time, so he got the 1 point. He's now flagged as well for knock. But again, the fixtures are really good, especially 12 there. They're good up to, well, long term they're pretty good to be fair, but yeah, obviously didn't get the clean sheet there, just the 1 point. Gabriel as well, he blanked. Eze, I watched that game, and he was unlucky. Like he could have scored again. He's just been getting to the right positions. An XG of 0.44. He could have scored again, especially towards the end when he had that 1-on-1. So he is getting the right positions. I do think he will do well, but it's just not clicking for him at the moment. Szoboszlai, so I was supposed to be doing Szoboszlai to Mavididi, but then I missed the deadline. So I actually went to watch the Leicester game. I missed the deadline, and then Szoboszlai, he was obviously benched, and then Mavididi. Thankfully, Mavididi blanked, so it didn't kind of, the swing wasn't massive. But yeah, Szoboszlai, I just want rid of him. It's been a bit of a disaster. He's obviously benched as well. His minutes haven't been great, and he's not really returning massively. And then Smith Rowe was benched as well against Man City, so that did not work. And again, I think going forward is fine, but I think it was just like a tactical benching because it was against Man City. But going forward, the fixtures look good, so I'm fine keeping him. But obviously getting benched, it just seems everything that could have gone wrong just went wrong in one single game week. So yeah, Smith Rowe, and then you've also got Eze, where I don't know how there wasn't a penalty with I think it was Van Dijk was pulling on someone's arm. I think it was Gay's arm, and another day that's given a penalty. Eze scores, and then Trent's clean sheet's wiped out as well. But yeah, so that again, Eze could have returned. Smith Rowe, it's obviously like getting benched. And then Salah, he just doesn't, he doesn't look great right now. But yeah, I mean, there's not many. I mean, Saka's obviously now potentially got an injury, and his fixtures look quite difficult. Salah's, he's not he's doing all right, but he's not absolutely smashing it. He's got 3 points the last one, 10, 6, 2. So he's fine, but then the fixtures don't look brilliant. But yeah, I'll talk about Salah's potentially going to be moved on, which I'll talk about in the next section. But yeah, 3 points for him. As I said, Solanke, Havertz, centre returning, and then captain Haaland, he obviously blanked as well. So yeah, 31 points. I felt about 1.5 million. So it's a terrible game week. Look at that game week rank 9.465 million. That's yeah, not ideal. But anyway, 31 points. I'm going to see. Hopefully, I've got 2 free transfers now. And I've still got my wild card. So hopefully I'm in a strong position going forward. So let's just take a look at the transfer plans now. Okay, so going on to FPL.team now. Again, it's completely free, so you can use this just to kind of plan your future transfers. So this is how the team's currently set up. I've got Henderson net. Again, there's not many keepers really who are like absolutely, raking in the points. So Henderson, with these fixtures coming up, Forest, Spurs, Wolves, Fulham, and then probably wildcard in 12. So at this point, I'm just going to hold him. Again, I don't think there's many keepers. If I was to get a keeper now, I probably would. It would either be Raya and just kind of set and forget, or it would be the Wolves keeper because their fixtures are really good coming up. But yeah, Henderson in net, and then Guardiola. At this point, I'm fine having him. His fixtures are really good coming up, as we mentioned. Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton. Although it is 3 away games, and they have been a bit leaky in defence, but Man City, they are one of the best defence in the league, so I'm going to keep him for now. I might get rid of him the following week, which I'll talk about a bit later. And then Mazraoui, providing he's fit, I have got Fass who can play against Southampton. So if there's any doubts he's going to be benched or anything, I could just do that and get Fass on instead. So, and it's actually recommended I do that, look, 60.2 or 60.4. So I could play Fass. But yeah, an away game, I'm not expecting a clean sheet, to be honest, and Mazraoui does have some attacking potential. So yeah, Fass or Mazraoui. It's kind of going to be a 50-50 call. If Mazraoui's looking like he's going to be, a doubt, then I'll just play Fass. And then Gabriel, I'm happy to have him. Bournemouth, it's a bit of a tricky fixture, but I think they could definitely get a clean sheet there, and we know how attacking he can be. And then Eze. So Eze, I've been wanting to get rid of, but then now he's gone through the difficult fixtures. It's now got Forest away, which it's still pretty tricky, but you could definitely get a return in that game. And then Spurs, I expect, because Spurs, they're very attacking, but they could definitely concede in that game as well. And then we got Wolves and Fulham, and then again probably wildcard in 12. So I'm tempted to keep, but also I really feel like I need Mbeumo at this point because he's the one that I really want. He's definitely missing. I could do with getting him in somehow. And then Soboslai, as I said, I just want to get rid of him. He's not done anything. And yeah, the fixtures just look terrible. Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Villa. It's just really not good. And then Smith Rowe, as I said, I'd probably keep him. He's just a good enabler, and the fixtures do look quite good. I think his benching last week, I wouldn't really be concerned about because his fixtures are good coming up, and it was Man City, so it was just tactical, I'm pretty sure. And Salah, so I want to keep Salah, but he is like the cash cow in this team, and these fixtures just don't. He could definitely get something. Look, Chelsea at home, he probably will get something. It's just whether or not the transfers that I make the whole team better because there's so much value tied up in him. I need him to be performing a lot better than he is, and these fixtures coming up. Chelsea maybe, but Arsenal away, Brighton maybe. But I just think the two players who I'm debating, they potentially will get a lot more points, but they are differentials. The first one is Foden. So I could get rid of Salah, bring in Foden. I've just got so much money to play with then. And Foden, I feel like I'll be getting ahead of the curve there because not many people are going to have him. Not many people are going to be sort of using a transfer on him because he's not getting many minutes. But I think he will start against Wolves, and he is building up his fitness again. So I want to get ahead, and kind of these fixtures here are surely the time to do it. Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton, and then I can just wildcard him out in 12. So if he plays, that's the only thing. If he plays these games, then they look really good, and he could absolutely fire me back up the ranks, or it could go terribly wrong. But Foden, he's the one that I'm thinking. And then also, if I get rid of Soboslai, I've then got 10.1, so I could either get Saka, but again, I don't particularly like it because one is got a flag, and two, these fixtures are just pretty terrible. Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, and then the Newcastle and the Chelsea games, they're both away as well. So I don't really like Saka, and I do have Havertz as a bit of cover. He's been covering a little bit. So what I do like, if he's fit, is Son. But that is a big if. So there has been talks that he should be fit for the West Ham game. But again, it's about trying to get ahead of the curve, because look at these fixtures: West Ham, Palace, Villa, Ipswich, and then again I could just wildcard here. So two massive differentials, and it's pretty risky. But yeah, I quite like it. It's either Salah or Szoboszlai. Sorry, Salah and Szoboszlai, or Son and Foden. And just because of the fixtures, I just think these fixtures are so good. And people, if Son does play for West Ham against West Ham, people are going to be after him straight away, especially if this Ipswich game here. So I'll already have him, and then the same with Foden. If Foden starts and absolutely smashes it against Wolves, people are going to be, Southampton at home is such a good fixture, and people are going to have Palmer. But again, I could get Palmer, but then I just don't think his fixtures are that. Look at that Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, Arsenal. I just don't think they're that brilliant. And then look, I could wildcard him in 12, so that's the kind of plan. Wildcard him in 12. And then I can kind of just jig the whole team up. So that's what I'm thinking. Is really risky, and it could massively backfire. But I quite like it. But again, Salah, he can score in any game for sure, and he probably will do quite well against Chelsea. But then you've got Arsenal straight afterwards. So it's just whether or not Foden and Son are better than Salah and Szoboszlai, which I think they probably are. Another thing I could do, I could get Palmer in, and then I could get Mbeumo in, that's the guy I really want. So that feels like the safe option, doing that, Palmer and Mbeumo. So that's the safe option. But again, Palmer's the fixture, it just doesn't feel like the time to bring him in. I think 12 is the time to bring him in. So I could do that. And then Mbeumo again. This fixture here, Ipswich at home, and then look at this fixture run. I feel like I need to get him in. So if I did the Son and... So if I do this, I'll get Son and Foden in. So Foden in there, Son in there. Again, this is providing we get a positive update saying that Son, has a good chance of starting. So if I did that, that's how the team would look. Again, two massive differentials, Son and Foden. And we know how explosive they can be. So they could really do well. Again, they could just not play. So it's definitely a risk. So then this will be the next week. And then I feel like I need to get in... so I could get Eze out. I can get Mbeumo in. But that means I need 0.4 in the bank. So I then have to do a -4. So I could get Lewis if he's still starting. Could do that for a -4 and get Lewis in, providing he's still starting, and then get Mbeumo in. And then I'll have my triple up will be Lewis, Foden, and Haaland. I've got Son, I've got Mbeumo, and then as I said, it looks good. So that'll be game week 9. Game week 10 still looks good. They've all got really good fixtures. Game week 11 all got really good fixtures. I quite like having that. Solanke and Son for Ipswich at home. And then 12, that's when I'll probably wildcard. So then I'll just completely change the team. So, I'm torn between either doing the risky move. So I could do the risky move and get in Son and Foden. Or do I just play it safer and get Palmer and Mbeumo? So it's going to be one of those two moves, I think. Again, it depends on injury updates. Because if, for example, Son's definitely ruled out, then I could just get Saka instead if he's ruled fit. I think Saka will play, by the way. I think if you've got him, again, just see what Arteta says, but I think he'll play. So, that's the kind of plan anyway. So, let me know in the comments what you do. I think I'm probably, if there's a positive update from Son, I definitely like Son. So I'll probably do Foden and Son in. But let me know what you reckon. And that's it for this video. So best of luck for the game week. I'll catch you again after the deadline. If you did like this one, please do drop a like and hit subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.